Hello, this is a video tutorial about the market server, a tool for manual traders who like to quickly follow the markets. Most action can be done with just one click. The market server so far is only implemented for MetaTrader 5. Maybe a MetaTrader 4 version follows. The market server consists of panels. Each panel can be hidden by clicking on the arrow key and can be respawned by clicking on the appropriate key to open the panel. For instance, the entry panel, where you can initiate orders and control your position. The upper panel is the informational panel, where you can see your balance, equity, your risk and money management parameters and so on. The lower part of the order panel consists of a set of rows where you can quickly select a parameter for your trade. Each value in a slot can be changed by just clicking on this value. For instance, we like to change the 0.04 volume. We click on this field, we enable the setup mode by clicking on setup, then edit the field in the same row below the setup button and enter the value you like to have for this slot, and then finish editing by pressing return. Now the value being changed, and it is also safe when you close and reattach the market server for this symbol. Just let's do a trade. For instance, we want to sell 0.4 for Euro US dollar, then we select our volume and click on sell. With one click we can, for instance, switch the position to long. We can switch again and halve the position, the button below, or we can multiply the position by 2. Then we can switch back and halve the position, and we end up with 0.20 long. As you can see, we have already a stop and a target attached. The percentage indicator to the right indicates that you are either closer to your stop when you see a leading S, or to your target, along with a percentage indicating how much of the target or stop is already completed. In our case, 10% of our target is completed. A simple profit shows the profit for the current symbol with the current size in base currency. The position points show the same profit in points, so in minimal price movements for this symbol, and this value is not volume weighted. Next, the account profit, which is the sum over all symbol profits. The session profits, which is the account profit from beginning of the session. The balance and equity speaking for themselves. The margin POS is the margin only for this position, and the account risk is nothing else than your current margin value, which is 52. The current margin value, this is the margin over all positions divided by current equity. A milestone can be provided as parameter when you attach the market server or from file. We will see it later. And to the right, percentage indicator for this milestone. So that means that we have already 91.68% reached of our milestone. Margin percent is nothing else than the margin level, as you can see here. And margin max is a custom set margin maximum that you can define either by a parameter or by a file. Risk and /to go means your current risk in base currency. So this value is the risk from entry position, and to go means the risk from current market. So how far to go in your base currency before the stop is triggered, and accordingly to profit and profit to go. The profit means the profit you finally end up with from entry position price to trigger the profit, and from the current market to trigger a profit. Bid-ask spread is self-declaring. Day pips. The first value indicates the current close minus current open in pips, so in minimal price movement for the symbol. And the right is the current day high minus the current day low, as well in pips. The HLI is a high-low index, and it's a percentage, which means that you are at the current day top when it is 100% and the current day low if it's 0%. So 50% means that the market actually is in the mid between day high and day low. To the right we have the pip value, and again to the right we have the value in base currency for one pip and one volume, and slash currency means the value of one pip with your current size, so with your current volume. So in our case the value of one pip with 0.20 lots. It is possible to change the look and feel of the market server. To do this, you need to open a file where colors and font are defined. Go on File, open Data folder, MQL5, Files, Trade Commander, Market Server, Setup Text. Colors are given in red, green, blue code. Red, green, blue, where values range from 0 to 255. For instance, the BK underline button color is the background color of the buttons for volume, deviation, limit pips, and so on. Let's set it with a higher red portion. So we set the red value to maximum value. And let's say we want to have a greater font size from 10 to 12. Save it. Detach the market server. This file is only loaded, not saved, so you can just reload the market server in order to take the changes effect. And as you can see, it's more ugly. It's a higher red and the font is too big. So we change it back to 000 and 10. Let's check it. And colors are like before. This is how to change the look and feel of the market server. Of your keyboard. If keys are enabled, so you click on keys off, you see keys on, then the numpad of your keyboard is enabled to doing trades or control your position. Control position means to switch it or to close it. All actions are done with parameters selected in the trade parameter smart selection. So we have pre-selected 0.05. We have target pips 100 and stop pips 100 and adjust pips 10. If you now press 8, we are going in long, so we buy. We have a target and a stop attached. If we press 5, we switch the position. If we press 0, we close the position. Let's go in short, so we press 2, and we have again our target and our stop attached. We want to change our target, we want to raise it. Let's say we want to raise it by 10 pips. With the key So we select the step size and adjust pips, we select 10. If we now press 9, the target is raised by 10 pips. If we press 3, the target is lowered by 10 pips. If you press 7, the stop is raised by 10 pips. If we press 1, the stop is lowered by 10 pips. You can also tighten the whole bracket by the same step size, 10 pips if you press 4, and widen the bracket if you press 6. You can switch the position by pressing 5 and close the position by pressing 0. Exit position programs. When you have an open position, let's say a short position over one lot in Great British Pound US dollar here, you can define when this position has to be closed depending on its loss or profit at a specific time, or dynamically by penetrating a defined moving average over some bars of the same time frame of the chart. For instance, if we activate to close the position once a specific loss is succeeded, so in this case -100, then you can see this program active by the keyword on and the changed color. As you know, you can change the colors in the setup files. Or you can define in addition that the position should be closed once the total profit, this applies to the total account profit, is above a specific value like 40, or at a specific time like in this case 7 o'clock in the evening, or when the actual bar is closing, for instance over the moving average over 20 bars of the same time frame, so 1 minute in this case. Then activate this. You can also define a noise for this value, for instance plus a multiple of the standard deviation of the moving average 20 over 1 minute bars. That's all. Special functions. One special function is to invert orders. You can set this in the setup panel by clicking on invert orders. When it is active, you see on. This means that a buy market order is turned into a sell order. So if I like to buy now, I actually go short. And if I want to sell, I do a buy order. The same applies for a keyboard if activated. As you know, the keyboard is activated if KS is on. Now if you press 8, normally you would buy. As you inverted orders, you now sell with 8, and vice versa for 2. If you press 2, you actually buy because orders are inverted. The flag is not indicated that it is active, and this is intended. It is a feature which is made use by beginners who are more wrong when they go into the market, and so they compensate this. Sooner or later you can disable this flag. It is also saved along with all other settings related to the symbols. So if you restore it, if you reattach the market server, you will see the flag is saved as well. By default, it's off. Final words. Because all important trading activities can be done with just one click, the market server seduces to the hectic to overtrading. It's very easy to switch a position, and when the market might not run in your intended direction, You might be seduced because you can do this very easily just to switch the position again and so on, and this means that you just generate commissions, that you raise your losses and so on. So you need some discipline when using the market server. Please keep this in your mind. Wait for the points where the market is offering chances for generate profit, like penetrating one of your indicators like the moving average and so on, and then do the appropriate action. Thank you for watching this video.